Yo, what up, how's it going? Welcome back to GFXRhino. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make 3D clothing for your Roblox GFX. Now 3D clothing, I've noticed, is quite a in-demand thing. Like a lot of people who are looking to hire people to make GFX for them are looking for people who can do 3D clothing. It is something that is quite a, I guess, somewhat important thing for GFX. It's definitely not something that's super in demand. Not everyone wants it, but it is something that you'll probably eventually get a client or want to make GFX for something that has 3D clothing. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So you want to start off in Roblox Studio here, and you want to import whatever character you want to use. You can use the rig builder. You can go under avatar and use rig builder R6 and then just import your own avatar. You can import a block avatar and then just dress it up in whatever clothes you'd want. But today I'm going to be using this plugin right here in the plugin section, the load character plugin. You probably have this if you've done GFX before. It is a plugin that most GFX artists use. I'll link it down in the description below if you don't have it already. You want to open it up, and then in here you can type in anyone's username and then just click spawn R6, and that'll spawn in a little avatar right here. Now you want to select them and you want to make sure the position is set to 0,3,0. Now if you use the rig builder inside of the avatar section, then you want to set it to 0,0,0 just to make sure it's in the center, just like this. So now we want to get the clothing texture. So to do that, you want to right click on his model just like that, click export selection, and then just name it whatever you'd like. Export it to a new folder on your desktop just like that. This is just to grab his actual texture. Then what you want to go ahead and do is remove his clothing just like this. This is going to be the character that we put underneath, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put the clothing, we're going to layer the clothing on top of this, then make the actual clothing 3D if that makes sense. So now you just want to export him, right click on him, export selection, and you want to make a brand new folder inside of your new folder. Go inside of there and then export him, naming him whatever you'd like. I'm just going to call him naked because that's exactly what he is. Then you want to export both of his accessories into the same folder as your naked one. So I'm going to name that ears, and then we're going to export the hat right here as hair because that is what it is. Now you want to open up Photoshop, but if you don't have Photoshop, you can use the free alternative Photopea, or you can actually use whatever image editing software you'd like. Just make sure you understand how to use it. Otherwise, just use Photopea or Photoshop, of course, if you have that. And you just want to go ahead and drag your texture that has the clothing on it into Photoshop or Photopea or whatever you're using. Drag it in there. So now inside of Photoshop, you want to go over to the left side right here with all of your tools. You want to right click on this one and use the polygonal lasso tool. It might display as this one or any of these. Make sure to set to polygonal lasso tool. Come in close here and just go ahead and select all of your hair and face textures just like this. Make sure you have your layer selected. You can then click delete on your keyboard and just delete all of that. So we just have the clothing left over. We also still have the skin though, so we need to go ahead and remove that. To do that, over on the right, there'll be this tool here, or it might be that tool, or whatever of these tools. You want to make sure you have the magic wand selected. Then just go ahead and select your skin, hold down shift, and then select all of your other skin textures, just like that. And then you want to click delete on your keyboard, and that will remove all of the skin you can see. So now we just have the clothing left over. You can go ahead and click file, export as PNG, or quick export as PNG, and then you can just overwrite your old clothing file just like that. Then you can go and open up whatever rig you are using. I'm using the Rhino rig V1. It'll be linked down in the description below. The process is still pretty much the same no matter what rig you use, but today I'm using the Rhino rig, so if you don't have a rig, I suggest you use this one just so it matches up with the tutorial. So first things first, you want to come up right here to where it resizes, right click on it, and then click horizontal split and split it down just like that. Then go up to this little thing in the corner and change it to shader editor. This is going to open obviously the shader editor in the corner just like this. So up in the shader editor right here, you want to come to texture.png. You can move around by clicking the scroll button. Move around like that. You just want to click this little file button right here. You want to navigate to your new folder right here, and then go inside of your new folder, inside of the new folder, and use this naked one that we exported just before. Then we can go ahead and import our accessories. To do that, you're going to go up to file, import wavefront OBJ, navigate to the same folder, and in here we want to select all of our accessories, the OBJ ones. Don't select the MTL ones, just the OBJ ones. So select those, hold down control on your keyboard, and then click the other one. You don't want to import your actual character one, so the naked one here, we don't want to import that. We just want to import the accessories. So I'm going to click import just like that, and you can see the hair and bunny ears are on there, all good. Now we want to go ahead and attach them up. So this process is a bit different depending on what rig you're using, but for the Rhino rig, select the thing you want to attach, then holding down control on your keyboard, you want to open up this little attachments thing right here. Hold down control and then click on the head attachments, because obviously the here is a head attachment. Hovering over your viewport, you want to click Control P and then click bone to connect it up, and do the same for the ears, connect it up to the head once again. Obviously if you have torso attachments like body armor or something, you'd attach it to the torso, and then obviously guns or anything go in the left or right hands. If you're using a future version of the Rhino rig, there will be leg attachments and upper and lower torso attachments, and maybe even upper arm attachments and a bunch of other stuff. So either way, just go ahead and do that and connect all of your accessories up. Select on your actual armature just like that, go up to here and change it to pose mode, and then you should be able to see when we move it, it moves along, the accessories move along with the actual rig now. And now we can begin on the 3D clothing. So you want to go ahead and select all of your body parts that you want the 3D clothing to apply to. So just select those and click Shift D on your keyboard, and then you want to click right click just like that, and it'll move the duplicate to the middle. If not, you can just click Shift D and then just click without moving your mouse, but obviously I already have it duplicated. So now you want to open up your rig up in the Explorer right here, open up the armature, and then down here there'll be the head, and then there'll be these ones that have 001 next to them. Those are the ones that we just duplicated. So select any one you'd like. I'm going to be doing the left arm right here. You want to click S on your keyboard and size it up just a little bit. Under object properties right here, you can change it to whatever scale. I like to do 1.05 most of the time. That seems to be a pretty good size. Set every X, Y, and Z to 1.05, and then you can select all of your other parts and set them all to 1.052 to make them all just a bit bigger. Make sure you're only sizing up the duplicate parts though, which are the ones with 001 next to them. So after you've done that, you want to select one of your duplicate parts, and then up in this little shader editor right here, you'll see a number right next to the texture, and this number right here indicates how many objects are using this texture. We obviously want the duplicate parts to have the clothing texture, so we're going to click that number and it's going to make it texture 001, so a duplicate of the texture. Then under the actual image texture right here, we're going to replace it with our clothing texture just like that. Then you want to connect alpha up to the alpha node on your principal BSDF just like that. Or sorry, I connected up to normal. You meant to connect it up to alpha, and you'll see that if we zoom in, there is a slight gap there. It is actually 3D right now. So now we just need to select all of our other parts just like this, and then select the one we just applied to the new texture to. You want to click Control L on your keyboard and then scroll down to Link Materials, and then click Link Materials just like that, and you'll see that they all have the clothing texture applied. If you look from down below, you can see there's a gap there, which means that it is now nice in 3D. So now we need to actually give it clothing folds and stuff. So to do that, you want to select whatever one of your duplicates right here, go into the modifiers and click Add Modifier. Click search and then use the displace node right there. You'll see it gets all big and puffy. You just want to go ahead and click new. That'll add in a new texture. After you've added that, you want to go ahead and just go on Google and find a clothing fold texture. You can simply just search up clothing folds texture just like this and find any of these. Don't use something like this that's kind of too bumpy like that. You just want to do one that's kind of simple. Maybe this one's probably good. So next you want to go down to this little texture properties thing down here, and then under the image settings, you want to click open right here and import your image texture just like that, and you'll see it starts to get really bumpy. You want to go back up to your modifiers right here, and under strength you can decrease how bumpy it is. So I'd suggest doing even like 0.05, like something very small just to give it a slight bump, maybe 0.1. So it's as easy as that. You can see it's already got a bit of a bump there. Now we just need to apply it to all of our other duplicates. So you want to go ahead and just in all of your other parts, add a new modifier that is the displace, and then under this little button here, you want to set it to texture, and then you can just change the strength to whatever you want, and then you can just do that for every single one. Add a new displacement texture, and then just click this little checkered pattern right here, and then apply the texture. Change the strength to whatever you'd like, and there you go. That is pretty much it. You can see the textures are a bit buggy, but that is only because we're in viewport shading. If I go into the rendered mode, you can see there's no glitch right there, and it's pretty nice, pretty simple clothing. He does look a bit chunky though, so you can always just go ahead and click S on your keyboard with any part selected and size it down. You can see though with the bump, it starts to kind of glitch through him just like that. Just make sure it's big enough that there's no clipping like that. You can then select his armature, go into pose mode, and then just move any of the parts, and you can actually see that the clothing moves along with it just perfectly like that. It is so simple. I want to thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and join the Discord server in the link in the description below, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.